everyone, and welcome to another episode of To Die For Games. I'm Mandy, aka the Board Gaming Pinup Girl.
And I'm Matt, aka Starlors.
Today is a special episode, as you can tell by my casual attire and hair. It's ever-changing. We've got a few things to show you today. We're going to be looking at organizing your game.
Hooray!
I have to sing it because I love organizing.
It's true.
It's amazing. So a big thank you to Steve Larkin from Custom Game Bits for providing us with some awesome inserts to show you, and I've purchased a few, so we'll show you some of the games that I have where I've been using them. Also, something else is happening. Do you want to tell them about it?
A contest! Woohoo! We have our very first contest. We're going to tell you all about it in a little bit.
Just gotta watch this video first, and you'll find out all about it.
Yes. Stay tuned.
Exactly. So we'll give you all the details at the end of this video. So let's jump into organizing.
Hooray!
So first things first, I don't actually own this game, but I was told I must show this because there are a lot of Eclipse players out there.
It's true.
I'm thinking that's a yes. So we have our trusty camera video person, Paul.
It's called videographer, but that's okay.
Whatever. He knows what I mean, to pass us some of these wonderful pieces. So first, we're going to show you the insert for Eclipse.
Ooh.
Now, I don't know this game, but we thought it would be a good one to show you empty, and as you can see, there's lots of really fun bits, or parts to put your bits. Gosh, that sounds really inappropriate.
That's amazing.
But as you can see, it will hold quite nicely. There are other parts here. So we've got a few of these inserts here. I'm assuming those Eclipse players will know exactly what goes in here. But I was told that popular game, need to show it. So there are several pieces of this to go inside the box. So these are meant to hold everything. So we're going to show you now games that I do own. Starting with Small World.
It's a small world. Oh, wait, that's the
Wrong game. Oh,
Right.
wrong song.
So, you'll see the insert here. Ta-da! Now, something we should point out on these guys is that they're actually labeled, which is super cool. He's laser etched them, and so you don't have to figure out what pieces are in most of these. Most of these actually have the pieces that go there labeled on the box or on the container itself. So it makes cleanup a lot easier for people that get help. You know, it's always, oh, it's Mandy's game that we're using, and she's very, very particular on how things go in and out of her games.
Exactly.
So this means that everyone's on the same page as to what goes where, because it's clearly labeled on the bottom, which is nice.
Exactly. So what's nice, what we showed you there, you just saw the top layer, but they actually have several layers, some of the games. So in this game in particular, and pull that out.
Yeah.
So, yeah, there we go. So the top layer shows our money. Okay, so that's really nice. And they've got the little plastic drawers to kind of cover it so they don't come flying out.
And the bottom ones are sort of race-specific, so there are some mountain cards here, but then there's those little fortresses that I think it's the trolls. I can't remember.
Yeah.
But yeah, so all of these little things fit on the bottom, and you'll see it's got these little semicircles here so that everything fits exactly on top of one another.
Right, so there you go. Slip that in, comme ça, or like that.
Right. So it means that everything stays put. And in these games with all of these little bits, even if you organize them by bags and stuff, they're shaking around a lot. They kind of come out all over the place. So having these inserts makes a huge difference in terms of organization. And sneezing.
I'm so sorry.
That's amazing. All right, so that's also a first for our show. We have a first contest and our first sneeze.
Yes, it was a very cute one, so.
It was.
Moving on.
Totally adorable.
Great. So now, we have, just to continue with what we were doing, we have the races all in their own compartment. So this is the top layer, and as you can see, mine's pretty empty because I don't have the expansions. So you can see that there is room for them, and they're labeled.
And layer number 2, more races. But again, it's got a few of them not filled in because this is just the base game for right now.
I'm working on it. And then finally here we have the space for the race banners. I had to remove them, they just fall right out. And then these are the actual, I think it's the special abilities, or they call them the special powers, excuse me. And those fit right in there, and that's it for this one. So one layer.
So when she says fall right out, it's because we're having to turn them 90 degrees.
Right.
They usually sit flat and then they never go anywhere, but for the purposes of this video, very hard. I'll let you take one guess as to what goes here. Hint. It's cards.
I don't have those yet. And then finally, this is the last thing you'll see in the box. You don't have to keep these, but I do, and which is great that Steve does this. He lets you know where everything goes. Most people can figure it out, but it's nice to have just in case.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that's it for that, for Small World. So we won't go through everyone, but we have inserts for Lords of Waterdeep, Dead of Winter.
Caverna, massively helpful for Caverna, because they have all those little wooden bits, right?
Exactly. So we'll definitely see that coming up when we do a review for Caverna. We'll show that to you as well during that time. We also want to talk about sleeves. Expert gamers will know about sleeving the cards. So I have a nice box here full of sleeves.
It's a sight to behold, actually.
I like to sleeve all my games. I've just been really busy, so I don't have a chance to do them all.
If this was a rap video, I'd just take this and just make it rain all over it. Like, there are seriously hundreds, well, thousands. There are thousands of these things. Because every card she has ever owned in her entire life is now covered in plastic. Like my grandma's couch. And pretty much for the same reason. Because people with, you get sticky fingers over places. It keeps them from getting spilled on. You can take them different places. It's good, but lots of sleeves. Very particular.
Don't like messy cards. I'm sorry. So
It's reasonable.
Some of the brands that you've seen that we kind of pulled out. So I do buy a lot from Mayday Games. They have some really awesome sleeves. For us Canadians, these ones can be a little expensive if we have to get them from the States. Thankfully, Board Game Bliss, I believe, carries a really nice selection. I think 401 Games is another one, and Quiche Games. So that's a really great place if you want to grab the Mayday Game sleeves.
We have some Ultra Pros here. Now, Ultra Pros I became familiar with back in my Magic days. So they do Magic card sleeves as well, but they make a whole bunch for Munchkin, for Flux, for a bunch of these different games. And I will say, I make fun of her a little bit, because that's good, but it really is important to sleeve a lot of these games. I really wish I have Citadels, for instance, and while I put the main cards in the heavy lucite sleeves, because you shuffle them like crazy every single game, I didn't sleeve the rest of that, and they're all nicked and kind of messed up at this point, and I'm going to have to rebuy the game because I really like it, which is why it gets played so much, but because I didn't take the time to, the few dollar investment to protect those cards, I'm going to have to rebuy that entire game, which is way more expensive.
So, yeah, that stresses the importance of sleeving your games. And also something to bear in mind, taking a look at whether you're getting premium or regular, the texture of the sleeves. Some of them are a bit thicker than others. So for me, I like to generally buy the premium sleeves, but at I don't know what the count is. It's like a lesser... the texture's just not as thick. Thickness,
yeah.
Exactly. So I just find them a bit easier to shuffle. You don't want them too thin, though, because then your cards still get bent. So it's a matter of preference, but depending on what kind of game you're playing, if it's one that requires shuffling, you may want to avoid getting ones that are too stiff.
You should also pay attention, too, because some of the sleeves will actually have an opaque back on them. I know that a lot of the Magic card sleeves used to do that, too, so you can kind of, keep your... But some games will require you to be able to see both sides of the card. So just make sure you're buying the right size, and you're buying the right... making sure that it's either both sides are clear or one side's opaque if that's what you want.
Right.
But yeah, it's finding the right thickness for you is just a matter of preference. You experiment, you buy some, you like them, you go with them, and that's it.
Yep, exactly. So this brings us now to Dice Towers. So we're going to grab this one. This is my zombie-made Dice Tower. Rawr. Anyway, it's pink, so you can tell it was made especially for me. And this was also made by Steve Larkin at Custom Game Bits. And I love a dice tower because, well, you throw your dice in, they come out here. They're not everywhere. So...
Yeah, I can't tell you how many times I've lost the roll for it dice, especially like the little ones, right, that are small or custom dice that are hard to replace. It's a good idea to use Dice Tower. They're just kind of fun. And for you parent gamers out there, if you have kids upstairs asleep and you want to keep things quieter, it's all about the Dice Towers. They make it, because they're padded on the bottom like that, the pink parts, those are like felt... or cloth. So it keeps things quieter, it keeps things neater, and it's just kind of good. It's a nice addition to your gaming experience.
Exactly. I use them at work a lot because, oftentimes we're doing it in a boardroom, we're playing some games in a boardroom or an office, and we can't be having dice flying everywhere and making a lot of noise, so I will keep a dice tower at work. Another unrelated topic for dice towers, they're actually very calming. People will come into my office, I leave a few little dice beside it, and they just enjoy dropping dice in the dice tower.
Stress relief. That's a first. I hadn't heard that one, but I get it. That makes sense.
I work in finance, okay? So it can be stressful. So it's that time. It's
Contest time! Hooray! So we're very excited. This is our very first contest for our channel, and it's going to involve, we're going to call this contest That's How We Roll, because it's dice towers. See? Funny. These things are absolutely amazing. We're going to have two separate winners. The first winner is going to receive this amazing dragon dice tower, decorated on all sides, and to go with the black dice tower, the black Space Invaders tie. Yes, it's cool.
It's very cool, but this is even cooler. We've got the wolf dice tower. Rah, it's amazing. Even has a little tail on the back. Very cool. And look at the little clawy teeth. And to go with the red, we have the Dungeons and Dragon themed bow tie.
D20 and dragons on it. You can't go wrong with that. I mean, really.
It's pretty cool.
So, for this contest, the rules are very simple. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and leave a comment on this video. Now, the comment should say something like, "Hooray for free stuff! Woo!" Or something to that effect. Then we'll know that you want to enter our contest. And we're going to choose two winners, and one is going to receive the awesome dragon, and the other is going to receive the amazing wolf.
So definitely big kudos goes out to artist Lenk, based in London, Ontario. And also big thank you to Steve Larkin of Custom Game Bits for making these awesome dice towers and bringing the vision to life.
You have no idea how hard it was to give these away. They're spectacular.
Really tempted to keep one, but I'll just really beg Steve to make one for us.
That sounds good too.
That's it. So I think that covers it for the show and for the contest. So we hope you all enter. Don't forget, subscribe to the channel and leave a really fun comment in the comment section of this video. All right. So thanks for joining us for this episode on To Die For Games, and we'll see you next time. Bye.